Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Colonel Vincent B. Myers, Commander of Blanchfield Army Community Hospital, and the soldiers of the United States Army Medical Department Activity, Fort Campbell, Kentucky, welcome to our Change of Responsibility ceremony. Today, Command Sergeant Major Daniel A. Santiago relinquishes responsibility to Command Sergeant Major Marlon E. Faulds. At this time, we would like to extend a sincere welcome to our distinguished guests. Mr. Bill R. Bell, Civilian Aide Emeritus to the Secretary of the Army and 2010 Champion of Fort Campbell. Mr. Phil R. Bell, Civilian Aide to the Secretary of the Army, Tennessee North. Dr. Lana Baston, 2013 Champion of Fort Campbell. Mrs. Royce Stevens, 2021 Champion of Fort Campbell. At this time, Staff Sergeant Jeff T. Guillaume and Staff Sergeant Terrence Layson, the Regional Health Command Atlantic Best Medic Team of the Year, will present a bouquet of red roses to Command Sergeant Major Santiago's wife, Carmen, on behalf of the officers, non-commissioned officers, soldiers, and civilians of the Medical Department Activity for her dedicated service and support to him during these past 2 years. A gift is also being presented to their son, Staff Sergeant Santiago, daughter Genesis, and grandchildren Lana Sophia and Daniel James for their continued support during Command Sergeant Major Santiago's time as the Blanchfield Army Community Hospital's Command Sergeant Major. At this time, Sergeant Sango Choi, the Medical Department Activity Soldier of the Year, will present a bouquet of yellow rosebuds to Command Sergeant Major Faulds' wife, Gloria, welcoming her to the unit. The closed buds signify the beginning of her relationship with the Blanchfield Army Community Hospital, and through the years to come, may she forge a strong bond with the soldiers, civilians, and family members of the Blanchfield Army Community Hospital family. A bouquet of flowers is also being presented to their daughter, Marielle. Today's ceremony is a reflection of procedures practiced since the birth of our Army in 1775. The presence of the band represents the significant role martial music has played throughout history by instilling pride, loyalty, and courage in armies before battle. The formation of troops, centered on our national flag, represents the unified purpose of our Army and its willingness to make the ultimate sacrifice in the defense of our nation. Next to our national flag are our unit colors. This closeness to the national flag symbolizes the trust placed in us by our nation. Before each unit is the battalion colors, and each is a symbol of pride, tradition, and history. Unit colors still serve to mark the location of an organization's headquarters and its commander. When a unit's colors are removed from headquarters, such as for today's ceremony, they remain under guard. This is more than tradition. It is a solemn recognition and devotion to the sacrifice and gallantry of all who have ever served under those colors. The task of guarding unit colors is an honor given to only the finest of soldiers. In a moment, you will hear the 101st Airborne Division Air Assault Band sound attention. This is a call of alarm, at which time troops turn out under arms and the ceremony officially begins.
Sound attention!
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the entrance of the official party, consisting of Colonel Vincent B. Myers, Commander, Blanchfield Army Community Hospital, Command Sergeant Major Daniel A. Santiago, the outgoing Command Sergeant Major, and Command Sergeant Major Marlon E. Faulds, the incoming Command Sergeant Major, and remain standing for honors to the nation and the invocation delivered by the Soldier Recovery Unit Chaplain, Ronald Kambuku.
Sound order arms!
The colors you see moving forward symbolize the very soul of the United States and the Blanchfield Army Community Hospital. They are a visible record of the glories past. They stand as guardian over the present and serve to inspire in soldiers the loyalty, duty, and courage to achieve victory in the future. In the past, the colors served as a rallying point for soldiers during the smoke and fog of battle. Today, colors are a symbol of the unit and accompany the commander wherever he may go.
Sir, the colors are present.
Assume your post and present the command.
Sound, present arms. Sound, order arms, and parade rest.
Let us pray. Gracious God, I invoke your blessings at this change of responsibility ceremony in the history of Blanchfield Army Community Hospital, as the mantle of leadership is passed from Command Sgt Daniel E. Santiago to Command Sgt Marlon E. Faulds. For the outgoing Command Sgt Santiago, Lord, I'm thankful for his dedicated leadership, mentorship, guidance, and words of wisdom to Blanchfield Army Community Hospital during the past 2.5 years. Continue to bless his wife, Command Santiago, their son, Staff Sergeant Daniel Santiago, their daughter, Genesis Santiago, and all the family members as they begin a new chapter in their lives after serving the military for 27 years. As for the incoming Command Sgt Faulds, Lord, I pray for courage, wisdom, and strength, and then decisive actions. Bless Command Sgt Faulds as he assumes his new assignment. I pray for his wife, Gloria, and their daughter, Marielle, to continue to support him as he carries out his awesome responsibilities. I pray that each and every person here this morning will support Command Sgt Faulds in his new assignment as the Command Sgt for Blanchfield Army Community Hospital. In your son's name I pray, amen.
Please be seated. Fort Campbell opened its first hospital August 19, 1942, known as the United States Army Hospital at Camp Campbell, Kentucky. The hospital had an operating capacity of 2,100 beds to support the troop needs of Camp Campbell. The hospital was housed in a wood frame structure using a World War II cantonment design, consisting of 53 brick veneered two-story buildings extending over 73 acres of land. The complex included more than 7 miles of ramps and corridors. This hospital and staff provided care to soldiers and families for 40 years through World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. A new hospital was built in a different location, and on September 17, 1982, the current hospital was officially dedicated. The architecture and design of the building was among the most of its modern today, The hospital opened with 10 patient care units and a capacity to care for 241 hospitalized patients. The hospital was dedicated in remembrance of Colonel Florence A. Blanchfield, Chief of the Army Nurse Corps from 1943 to 1947. Colonel Blanchfield played a prominent role in World War II by placing nursing teams close to the front lines to provide expert nursing care to battlefield casualties. She was also instrumental in attaining permanent commissioned officer status for military nurses and was the first woman to receive a regular Army commission. Blanchfield Army Community Hospital is unique in the United States Army Medical Department in that it is the only hospital named after an Army Nurse Corps officer. Her serial number was N1. Blanchfield Army Community Hospital, with a yearly budget of over $200 million, is one of the largest and best equipped hospitals in this area. Blanchfield oversight spans the 4 states, Kentucky, Tennessee, Illinois, and Wisconsin. To meet the healthcare needs of BACH patients today, the main hospital building has 47 operational beds and houses emergency and primary care services, surgery, and other specialty services within the 494,000 square foot building. The hospital system consists of 35 buildings spanning 1,014,510 square feet to accommodate the overall care. Healthcare services offered include patient-centered medical homes, specialty care services, women's health services, and many other services. Blanchfield Army Community Hospital also provides nurse case managed care to wounded, ill, and injured soldiers assigned to the Soldier Recovery Unit. The caring staff maintains a patient and family-centered care atmosphere with more than 2,600 personnel to support more than 72,000 beneficiaries, with more than 100,000 eligible beneficiaries within a 40-mile radius. On an average day at Blanchfield, 27 beds are occupied. There are 3,432 clinic visits, 113 patients visit the emergency center. The pharmacy fills 3,469 prescriptions. 596,000 radiological services are provided, 288 labs, 1,000 meals served, and 4 babies born. Today, BACH's mission is to support a ready force and healthy future by leveraging high quality and high equity care, innovative technology, and partnerships to prepare the total force for global operations while supporting care for our families. Its vision is to become an indispensable training platform that leverages clinical care to optimize a ready medical force in support of Fort Campbell and our surrounding Defensive Department partners while enabling a medically ready force across our health service area.
Sound attention.
The change of responsibility is a simple yet traditional event that is rich with symbolism and heritage. Key to the ceremony is the passing of the unit's colors. The colors represent not only the lineage and honors of the unit, but also the loyalty and unity of its soldiers. The colors are the commander's symbol of authority, representing his responsibilities to the organization. Wherever the commander is, there also are the colors. The custodian of the colors is the Brigade Command Sergeant Major. Command Sergeant Major Daniel A. Santiago, the senior enlisted soldier in the unit and the principal advisor to the commander. The passing of the colors symbolizes the transfer of responsibility from the outgoing Command Sergeant Major to the incoming Command Sergeant Major. The passing of the colors demonstrates to the soldiers of the unit the old Command Sergeant Major has passed the mantle of leadership to the new Command Sergeant Major, and with this must also pass the loyalty of the soldiers to their new Command Sergeant Major. By authority of Army Regulations 600-20, paragraph 2-10, the undersigned charges responsibility of the United States Army Medical Department activity and Blanchfield Army Community Hospital to Command Sergeant Major Marlon E. Faulds, effective 04 March 2022. Signed, Vincent B. Myers, Colonel, Nurse Corps, Commanding. First Sergeant Rachel Quiroz will now pass the colors to Command Sergeant Major Santiago, his final duty as the Brigade Command Sergeant Major. The outgoing Command Sergeant Major then passes the colors to Colonel Myers, signifying his relinquishment of responsibility and completion of 32 months as the Command Sergeant Major of Blanchfield Army Community Hospital. Colonel Myers now passes the colors to the incoming Command Sergeant Major. Command Sergeant Major Faulds, charging him with the responsibility for the unit as its new Command Sergeant Major. This time-honored process is completed when the incoming Command Sergeant Major passes the colors to First Sergeant Quiroz, and she returns the colors back to the color guard.
Sound parade press.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of Blanchfield Army Community Hospital, Colonel Vincent B. Myers.
Well, good morning, everybody. I'll tell you, if this doesn't, this day right here, beautiful day outside, beautiful day inside, our soldiers in front of you, and just these incredible leaders. And frankly, I've never seen so many sergeants majors in one room at a time. We could have a huge police call right after this and really get some things done on Fort Campbell. So welcome to Command Sergeant Major Knapp. Thanks for joining us today. I know there's a gazillion things going on in the division, and your presence here really means a lot to our organization. Sergeant Major Bumagog from OTSG, thanks for coming down to represent MedCom and the Surgeon General. Really appreciate it. Phil and Bill Harpel, always incredible supporters from the community. We couldn't do it without you. I really appreciate everything that you do. Royce Stevens, I see you out there. Always appreciate all your support. And Miss Laura Baston, thank you so much for all that you do to support us. And all of former commanders, Sergeant Major, special thanks to Colonel Birchfield for coming down today, or coming up today, I guess, from Redstone Arsenal. Appreciate you being here to support. Let's give a round of applause to both the band and our soldiers for what they do for us. It just really means a lot for all of you to support us all the time, never fail, really standing up tall and representing the entire installation. Thank you again. Distinguished guests, community leaders, friends, and family, thanks for attending our Change of Responsibility ceremony today. I'm truly honored to farewell my battle buddy, Command Sgt. Major Daniel Santiago, and welcome a new member to the BACH family, Command Sgt. Major Marlon Faulds. Having served as a commander 4 times in my career, it's very hard to measure the value of a senior NCO, whether that be a sergeant major or a first sergeant. Frankly, it's simply unmeasurable. You can't measure it as a young officer or even a more seasoned officer as I am now. To a commander, a sergeant major is their trusted counsel, is their guiding light, and really their warning beacon to avoid crashing into the rocks. And we all know we've been to that close point of crashing into the rocks where our sergeant major has reached back and grabbed us by the back collar. We feel that tug and we correct course. They hold the interest of the soldiers at heart, and they fight for quality of life, fight tooth and nail for quality of life for our soldiers and their families. And in this organization where we have 85% civilians, our civilians also. Command Sergeant Major Santiago is truly the pinnacle of a soldier's soldier. Soldiers flock to him for sage counsel and wise advice during their most challenging times, the darkest times that any of us may face. They go to people like Command Sergeant Major Daniel Santiago. And they walk away stronger and galvanized to support the mission and to move forward. Command Sergeant Major Daniel Santiago epitomizes this role. His total dedication to not just soldiers but to civilians and anyone who is in need is truly unmatched. Over his 27 years, he's developed junior soldiers, non-commissioned officers, and officers like me to be future leaders who really are the fiber of Army medicine. He trained, guided, and challenged soldiers to be better than the best, to go beyond where they ever thought they could go, to go further than they ever thought they could go, to march farther, to be more efficient, and to be the best. Not just at BACH, the region, or MedCom, but to be the best in the Army, the entire Army, and that really means something. It's not just about this footprint or the larger footprint on the medical side, but it's about the Army, and he's always been focused on that. As a result of his direct leadership, Blanchfield achieved the status of #1 readiness platform in the Army less than a year ago. And he made this happen many times across his 27-year career. Command Sergeant Major Santiago's accomplishments are too numerous to list. He took this organization to the next level by prioritizing readiness of the Blanchfield force and ensuring conditions were set to achieve Army medicine's #1 priority, readiness. Ensuring soldiers are ready today to save lives in the most austere and remote locations on the globe. I'm confident that today, if anyone in this room was called, you have them ready to go to do anything they're asked to do in any condition. As we watch the challenges across the globe unfold, I am absolutely confident that our soldiers are ready right now to support those operations, thanks to Command Sgt. Major Santiago's leadership and training. Although our time has been short, I've taken many lessons, life lessons from our private dialogues, watching your engagement with soldiers and your leadership, our talks about sports, boxing, and other sports that we share. And of course, like any good commander, I've taken a few stories, so I will share one of those with you today. One fairly recent story occurred on a Saturday morning during the height of the last COVID surge. A phone call outside of the duty day for a commander is rarely to share positive news or asked simply, "How are you doing?" On this specific Saturday, I received a phone call from Command Sgt. Major Santiago. He was talking so fast, I thought he was having a heart attack. Thinking through in my nursing ways how I would handle his cardiac arrest type situation on the phone, not knowing where he was at, eventually he was able to calm down enough to express the issue he had at hand. A soldier who was departing within 24 hours to represent Regional Health Command Atlantic in an Army-level competition had an issue. As the Command Sergeant Major for BACH, it would be devastating to make the call to the region to say, "I'm very sorry, but we can't make it." But that was not his focus. It wasn't about, we're going to miss the boat for region. It wasn't about, we're going to let down our higher headquarters. It was really about the fact that the soldier had spent weeks, months, training for the event, exuding blood, sweat, and tears to be the best soldier possible. His focus was ensuring the soldier had the opportunity to compete, not for a badge or a trophy, but because he was confident the soldier's training and readiness were top-notch. Of course, winning matters, right? Because we're in the Army and winning does matter. But for Sergeant Major, it's always been about sharpening the sword of readiness, being a soldier, being a ready medical force. And in the end, he made it happen, as Sergeants Major do, to ensure that soldier had the opportunity to compete, not just for the MedCom, not just for the region, but for the Army. There are many, many stories like this that I could share even over the short time that we've spent together. I'd like to take a moment to welcome Command Sergeant Major Marlon Faulds and Gloria to the BACH family. Your leadership, experience, and compassion for soldiers and our staff is already very visible. I look forward to serving with you and developing the key bond between a commander and the senior enlisted advisor. I appreciate you keeping me out of trouble, as I am likely to get into in multiple times across the next 18 months or so. My only advice to you is to just be you. It's about people, and relationships matter. We all know Command Sergeant Major Santiago has more fuel left in his tank. He's bouncing around here all morning, all yesterday, making sure that I know what to say and what to do, and that's what he's about. However, as he will tell you personally, his family needs him and it's time to make the transition. And if I had a house steps from the beach in Puerto Rico, I would factor that in my decision too. There'll be a calendar posted on the door on your way out. Once I reserve my week, feel free to reserve your weeks too. A son, a husband, a dad, and yes, a grandfather. We all know the fuel that keeps Command Sergeant Major Santiago running is his family. Melanie and I would like to personally thank Carmen, soon to be Command Sergeant Major retired Santiago, your son, Staff Sergeant Daniel Santiago, your daughter Genesis, and your entire family for your service to BACH, the Army, and this great nation. Your legacy will live on in the thousands, probably tens of thousands of lives you've touched, the thousands of mentorship sessions you've led, and the thousands of times you've just been Daniel Santiago, the guy with the big heart, the battle buddy to many of us over many years. Just you. You just been you. Godspeed to you in your retirement, in your future, and look forward to seeing more photos of the great times that you're having when you hit back to Puerto Rico. Screaming Eagles, Air Assault, Army Medicine is Army Strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, the outgoing Command Sergeant Major, Command Sergeant Major Daniel A. Santiago.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you all for coming out here. Thank you all. Colonel Myers, thank you for that, for those remarks. Really appreciate it. I'm gonna start the way it's supposed to be. Sergeant Major Knapp, Sergeant Major Blumenglass, Sergeant Major Harbour, the Phil Harper, Mr. Bill Harpels, all the champions, commanders, I see Colonel Hamilton over there, deputies, everyone, civilians, soldiers, everyone. Melanie, my wife, Gloria, Sergeant Major Faulds, Gloria's first sergeants, civilian, family, friends. Thank you for your thank you for taking the time to be here today. Your presence means a lot to my family and I. First of all, thanks to the 101st Band for their performance and continued support, and to Chaplain Kambuku for their uplifting invocation. Soldiers of the Blanchfield Army Community Hospital and the Soldier Recovery Unit, and the best color guard in the Mekong. Oh, yes, I say the best color guard in the Mekong, because which color guard in the Mekong has ever performed on a Veterans Day in front of 70,000 people at an NFL game, shown by millions of people on TV, right? So I don't think too many Mekong color guards have ever had that chance. So that's why I say we have the best color guard in the Mekong. Who? All right, who? And these NCOs and soldiers standing in front of you represent what's great of our nation, our Army, and our Army Medical Department. They are the future of Army medicine. Please give them another round of applause. I would like to thank God for blessing my family and I every step of the way on this Army journey that began 27 years ago, and will end here on the best Army installation in the Army, Fort Campbell, Kentucky, the home of the 101st Urban Division Air Assault and Blanchfield Army Community Hospital. Yes, I said their journey will end here because of, as most of you know, I will be retiring against the will of my leaders, my senior leaders, my peers, and most importantly, my soldiers. My heart and passion for taking care of soldiers were still telling me to keep going and going. But my duty as a husband and a son were also telling me that it was time to take care of my wife and my parents. And that's what I will do. It's time to pay them back everything they sacrificed for me for the last 27 years, and I want to do it before it's too late. And they need me. To my wife, Carmen, thank you for the unconditional love, support, and for understanding the rigors and responsibilities of my position, and for enduring our separation on and off for the last 9 months while you were away helping me take care of my parents and your parents in Puerto Rico. And on behalf of the Fort Campbell leadership, I would also like to thank you because for almost 2 years, you provided a very important service. Some of you don't know this, but she provided a very important service to the parents of the Fort Campbell community as a child development center caregiver. So your kids, parents, love you so much. And some of them have told me personally that they hated when you had to resign to go take care of our family. So the NCO Corps is the backbone of the Army, but without a doubt, you have been the backbone of our family. So I love you so much. Thank you. To my children, Daniel Santiago, Daniel Alfonso. So you can see everybody in the family is Daniel, okay? Who? Also known as Staff Sergeant Santiago. And Genesis Gabriela, I want you to know that I'm very fortunate to be your father, and you both make me very proud. To my parents in Puerto Rico, I know they're not watching, but it doesn't matter. I know you're both very proud of me. Thank you for your support, for teaching me the values of respect, love, duty, and for always demanding and expecting the best of me. La bendición y nos vemos pronto. To my brother, Luis, his wife, Yasmin, nephews, thank you for coming. Thank you, means a lot. To all my family and friends watching live the ceremony virtually, thank you for your love, care, and we'll see you soon. And I know I have some family back home watching the ceremony right now, so I love you all, and we'll get to spend some time together in the near future. I love you. So for the past 32 months, I have been blessed, honored, and privileged to work with two outstanding commanders. 24 months with Colonel Blanchfield. Sir, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. And 8 months with Colonel Myers. I want to say thank you to both of you. Thank you for your leadership and friendship. Thank you for allowing me to lead this fine organization as a team. We worked through many challenges together, and I have learned so much from both of you. I just hope that I fulfill my duties as your battle buddy and your Command Sergeant Major. Melanie, Robin, I know she's not here, but on behalf of my wife, Carmen, and I, thank you for your love, friendship, and being part of our lives during the last 32 months. Thank you so much, okay? Appreciate it. To the Regional Hawk Command Atlantic, past and present commanding generals and command sergeant majors, Major General Place, Brigadier General Lodi, Brigadier General Kruger, Command Sergeant Major Huff. Now he's the MENCOM Command Sergeant Major. He's supposed to be watching online. Command Sergeant Major Booker, also Sergeant Major Booker should be watching this ceremony online, and she was not able to be here. She had just surgery last week, and she's on convalescent leave right now. So I wish you a speedy recovery, Sergeant Major Booker. I want to thank you for your support, leadership, and for allowing me the privilege of leading this outstanding team of soldiers and civilians. Your mentorship and guidance was critical to our mission success. To the Fort Campbell leadership, former and present, Major General Winsky, Command Sergeant Major Barker, Major General McGee, Command Sergeant Major Knapp, Garrison Command Team, Sergeant Major Harbor is here, to the 101st Brigade Commanders and Command Sergeant Majors, DENTAC, I see the DENTAC up there, I see Public Health Command activity. Thank you for your support and leadership, and it was an honor and a pleasure to get to know you and work with all of you. To the Casas, right, and champions of Fort Campbell, the Harper L. brothers, Kelly Pendleton, Field Representative for Tennessee, Senator Marshall Blackburn, Mr. John Clemens, sponsored representatives from First Command, AFIS, MWR, all the community leaders present. Thank you for always supporting BACH, for showing up at every of our ceremonies and events and recognizing our soldiers. Without a doubt, you'll make my assignment here a very welcoming one. Thank you. To the Blanchfield Army Community Hospital Command Group, beginning with all the former and current deputies, Colonel Richter, Colonel Forrestal, Colonel Harold, Colonel Friedline, Colonel Clark, Lieutenant Colonel DiVali, Mr. Nix, Exos, Major Kaiser, Major Price, Lieutenant Colonel Mucci, Secretary Sylvia, Becca, Lisa, Mr. Cheveres, to all my NCOICs, OICs, Department Chiefs, soldiers, thank you for your support, for the long hours working out issues, solving problems, and making things happen. I hope I have made an impact in your lives, because you definitely have made an impact in mine. To the former and current troop command teams, starting with Lieutenant Colonel Mogler, I know she's watching too, she texted me she was gonna be watching, Lieutenant Colonel Patterson, and 4 troop sergeant majors. Yes, you heard correctly. I had 4 troop sergeant majors in 2.5 years. Master Sergeant Lowe, Command Sergeant Major Bellinger, Sergeant Major Bond, and now Sergeant Major Hawkins. They're so good that they don't last in their seats for too long. That's why I had 4 of them. To the former and current SRU command teams, Lieutenant Colonel Holt, Command Sergeant Major Pelham, Command Sergeant Major Rivera. Sergeant Major Rivera, thank you for the surprise. Thank you for the surprise. Sergeant Major Rivera retired. Command Sergeant Major Rivera retired, and his wife, Wanda, did not know they were flying in from Puerto Rico, and they showed right here this morning and gave me that nice surprise. So thank you so much for doing that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Lieutenant Colonel Reagan, Sergeant Major Nunez, okay, to the former and current company command leadership, both the BACH and SRU, Captain Matthews, Captain Watson, Captain Nguyen, Captain Harness, First Sergeant Morrell, First Sergeant Cummins, First Sergeant Quiroz, First Sergeant Tate. Thanks for taking care of our soldiers and for making my job a lot easier. Your contributions made BACH the #1 MTF in Mecum. To the best PAO team in the Army, okay? Laura, Maria Cristina, Fred, they're here working right now as we speak. Thank you for making me look good on every video, every story that you publish, okay? Yeah, they had to edit it many times to make me look good. So thank you so much for doing that. And all the Mecum Sergeant Majors, they're here right now. I know they envy me because of our PAO team. They always tell me that. They always tell me that. They envy me because of my PAO team. So I owe them a lot. Thank you so much for what you do for the hospital. Because if we don't tell the story, nobody knows what we do. Huh? So thank you so much. To the rest of the officers, NCO, junior enlisted soldiers, civilians, and contractors of the Blanchfield Army Community Hospital, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you all for your unconditional support, for the excellent work that you do day in and day out, for providing the best care and service to our community. I'm going to miss you all. You are the best group of professionals that I have ever worked with. Commanders and Command Sergeant Majors come and go, and I'm no exception to that. Therefore, you deserve all the credit for everything that happens here. Together, we have accomplished so much in the past 32 months, and I'm gonna tell you a few of them. We provided quality health care to over 108,000 beneficiaries assigned to Fort Campbell, Rock Island, Arsenal, Fort McCoy, and surrounding areas. We delivered, and this is in 2.5 years I was here, we delivered 4,320 babies. We performed 643,000 radiology and 311,000 lab services. We dispensed 3,746,000 pharmacy prescriptions. We received 122,000 ER visits. We discharged 19,440 patients and completed 3,733,210 clinic visits. Together, we improved BACH soldiers' leader development. Of the 367 soldiers assigned to the hospital, 250, that's 68%, of them are proudly today wearing some type of badge, have attended an Army school, or earned the Sergeant Audrey Murphy Medallion. In FY21 alone, 86 soldiers, or 23% of the unit, attended the certification or badge producing school. In addition, 6 senior NCOs earned their Order of Medical Military Merit, 02 and 3, and 7 were inducted into the SAMC Club. Our best medic team, composed of Staff Sergeant Guillaume and Staff Sergeant Lacing, won the 2022 Regional Hall Command Atlantic. And the commander was mentioning about that phone call that morning that I gave him on a Saturday morning. That's what he was referring to. Sergeant Guillaume, please stand up. Sergeant Lacing, please stand up. So they are the They are the 2022 Regional Hall Command Atlantic Best Medic Team, who came from here from Blanchfield Army Community Hospital. In training, the unit achieved 98% compliance with the ACFT, Army Combat Fitness Test. In weapons, we accomplished, we are 56% of our soldiers qualified, 100% Army Warrior Task Training. Due to these highest levels of soldiers' readiness, BACH was identified as the #1 MTF for readiness and leader development during the first Mecum semi-annual training brief. In retention, in conjunction with my career counselor, Sanford Class Ramos, she's sitting there, BACH earned the #1 position within Regional Health Command Atlantic in both the initials and aggregate in an FY20 mission, and Sanford Class Ramos was selected by Mecum retentions as the top counselor winner for Group 3 mid-size MTF. In sponsorship, we invested valuable time logging into ACT on a weekly basis to monitor 100% assignment of sponsors, completion of sponsorship forms, and making face-to-face contact with within 24 hours of soldiers arriving to Fort Campbell Reception Center, resulting in one of the lowest reporting units for SHARP, EO, suicide prevention, suicide cases within the Mecum. For this reason, I had the privilege to be selected by the Mecum CSM, Command Sgt, to chair the first ever Mecum SHARP and Suicide Prevention Task Force. The purpose of this task is to find tools and initiatives across selected military treatment facilities for implementation across the Mecum in order to reduce the amount of harmful behaviors that are affecting the readiness of our forces. Additionally, we kept Together, we kept Army traditions and ceremonies alive by conducting one military ball, two NCO SAMC induction ceremonies, culminating in over 60 newly promoted NCOs and 7 new SAMC members being inducted. Both ceremonies were identified by senior Fort Campbell and community leaders in attendance as the best orchestrated NCO SAMC induction they've ever seen. And lastly, 12 soldiers were promoted to Staff Sergeant, 15 were promoted to Sergeant First Class, 3 to Master Sergeant, and 2 of those Master Sergeants are going to the Sergeant Major's Academy this summer. Together, we posture the organization to be an indispensable health and training readiness platform, supporting the Army Surgeon General's license of effort to synchronize and integrate the medical effort, strengthen alliances and partnerships, and build readiness. We were able to accomplish this by coordinating training agreements with Vanderbilt University, leveraging critical skills, sustainment opportunities through the AMCT3 program, SMART program, and critical care AOC MOS skill rotations. Our prioritization and support for readiness led to a drastic increase in individual critical task completion for Army Nurse Corps, Specialist Corps, Medical Corps, and Enlisted Corps. Our team also executed the medical and dental mobilization forces generating installation, MFEI support, and provided critical support to Operations Allies Refuge at Fort McCoy, Wisconsin. We also provided top-notch care at Rock Island Arsenal, Rock Island, Illinois. Our COVID-19 response, executing the requirements of testing, tracing, and vaccinating patients was the best in the Army. And I'm not saying that because I want to say that as stated by the Chief of Staff of the Army, General McConville, and the Sergeant Major of the Army, Sergeant Major of the Army, Sergeant Major Grinston, when they both made separate visits to the PPC vaccination site and drive-through testing operations. As of today, our staff has vaccinated over 76,000 beneficiaries and have conducted almost 100,000 COVID tests since the pandemic began. Fort Campbell was the first installation to execute and validate pooled asymptomatic COVID testing in support of FORSCOM readiness. Through pooled testing, BACH effectively swapped multiple brigade-sized elements and shipped samples to more robust testing facilities across the United States. Facilitating 3 brigades from the 101st to deploy to ARTC to training during COVID pandemic and 1 brigade to deploy to Europe. We passed the Joint Commission accreditation inspection with minor findings and executed the Defense Health Agency Southwest Kentucky Market Establishment. And lastly, we executed the mandated transformation from Warrior Transition Battalion to the Soldier Recovery Unit, culminating with the reflagging ceremony. Over the past 32 months, the SRU has taken care of hundreds, if not thousands, of soldiers in transition. And in 2020, the 4 SRU cadre members were recognized with the Army Cadre of Excellence Awards for the Platoon Sergeant, Transition Coordinator, Patient Administration, and Human Resources. Please join me in a round of applause for everything these medical professionals have accomplished in the last 2.5 years, please. All right, Sergeant Major Faulds. Although we never had the privilege to serve together before, based on our last 3 weeks of transition, I can already tell that the Army made the right decision in selecting you to continue the great legacy of our hospital. And let me assure you that you have been blessed with your selection to be the next CSM of the Fort Campbell MEDAC. You are inheriting the best soldiers and civilian staff in the Army. If you take care of them, they will take care of you. Always remember that they are the reason that we were placed in these positions. Carmen and I wish you and Gloria the best of luck. All right, in closing, it was my honor to be your Command Sergeant Major for over the past 2.5 years. You all have contributed in some shape or form in my development and as a leader and as a person. I will miss all the good times we had together. I will always be available if you need anything from me, and if you ever find yourself visiting La Isla del Encanto, the Enchanted Island, Puerto Rico, please reach out to me so we can enjoy a refreshing piragua, And what that means is a Puerto Rican snow cone, okay? All right. We can also enjoy something else too, but can't say it in public. Hope. And to also show you the beautiful sceneries, beaches, and hot spots of my island. So I want to end like this. I asked my soldiers whenever we had a ceremony to do this, so I want to end it like this. And I think the microphone, can you hear me? Okay, hold on. I am Command Sergeant Major Santiago, and I am proud to be a MECOM soldier. Oh. So, Screaming Eagles Aerosol Army Medicine is always going to be Army strong. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Command Sergeant Major, United States Army Medical Department Activity and Blanchfield Army Community Hospital, Command Sergeant Major Marlon E. Faulds.
Man, you want to be forever, man. You can stay forever if you want to. Colonel Myers don't mind. Let me get my scroll out. I had a scroll, but I don't know. First, I want to say thank you for all the soldiers here, the band, the color guard, the staff, and organized this. You know, nothing would happen without this ceremony, without those soldiers, even behind the scenes. The staff, they did a great job, and give them another round of applause. They're awesome people. Chaplain, thank you for the prayer. You know, it's an awesome prayer to bless this ceremony. Thank you. Say good morning. I say good morning, Colonel Myers, Sergeant Major Knapp, Sergeant Buma, Sergeant Major Harbor, friends, distinguished guests, the Harpers, thank you for coming today, the friends and families, and soldiers, thank you for taking your time today to enjoy this ceremony. This is an honor to Sergeant Major Santiago, an awesome job he did, all the lists he did, all the accomplishments this organization has accomplished. It's all about your leadership, and I think the soldiers are grateful to have you as their Command Sergeant Major. It's a big shoe to fill, man. It's a big shoe to fill. I know why I can't get another Sergeant Major to replace that got fired, no, but it's you, man. Thank you. As I stand here as a Command Sergeant Major, I didn't get here because I just got here. Now, there's so many people I have to thank. You know, the people that love and support. First, I want to thank God for his blessings for me and my family. You know, he's been blessing us for all this entire career, for 20 years of my career in the Army and my family. I want to thank my wife, beautiful wife Gloria there, sitting there, always with a smile. Be good or bad, she's always smiling. So as a husband, it's very confusing, right? I don't know if I did something wrong or not, right? So I know you can relate, husbands, you know. So I want to thank thank you, baby, and I love you for all the support you have given me. For my daughter here, Mariel, and my son Charles, he's not here today. It's hard to be a military child, but I thank you for your resiliency. For all the moves we do, finally you said, no, I'm staying here in Colorado Springs, Dad, not going to you in Campbell. But thank you, and I love you always. For all the leaders and guiding me and mentored me for all these years, you know, good or bad, but I learned at each one of them. So here today, as a Command Sergeant Major, I thank you for all their mentorship and guidance. For all the leadership who had selected me for this opportunity to have this job, a great job, to lead this wonderful organization of Blanchfield Army Community Hospital to the soldiers and civilians. Thank you for this opportunity. Colonel Myers, Melanie, thank you for this welcome, the transition, sir. Looking forward to you, me and my wife, looking forward to working with you and make this organization, and what it is already great, so working with you to make it better. Sergeant Major Santiago, again, thank you. You and your family, Carmen, your son, Staff Sergeant Santiago, and Daniel. I wish you and your family very well. Thank you for the transition, and I wish you your great future. I know you're here to take care of your family, and great retirement. That DD-214 blanket I gave you, that will remind you every day, that keeps you warm. That you'll be like, oh man, if something happens, like, man, I'm retired. I don't have to go there no more. But safe travels to Puerto Rico. For all the soldiers, civilian, as your Command Sergeant Major, we will work as a team. We are a team, and all people will always come first. We will provide the best health care and make medical-ready soldiers, because when we are ready, we are ready to answer the nation's call. I will close with a quote from Muhammad Gandhi, and said, "A sign of a good leader is not how many followers they have, it's how many great leaders they create." And that's what we do as leaders. We create the next leader of our Army to keep it strong and keep our NCO strong, because we as the NCO, we are the backbone of the Army. Thank you. Screaming Eagles Air Assault Army Medicine is Army strong.
Sound attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the retirement of the colors and remain standing for the playing of the Screaming Eagles song and the Army song.
Sorry, this concludes the ceremony.
Take charge of the unit and take care of our people.
Sergeant Major, take charge of the unit.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony. We thank you for attending. You are invited to attend a reception for Command Sgt. Major Faulds and his family, located at the hospital inside the A building entrance in the commander's classroom. Please join Command Sgt. Major Santiago and his family as we bid them farewell in the Bastogne Room here at Fort Commons. I am Staff Sergeant Reyes, the voice of the Eagle, Air Assault, Army Medicine, and Army Strong.